My name is Leanne McDougall, Senior Sales Director with Mary Kay, and I'm so glad that you've joined me. What I'm doing today is a training on how to organize your office and how to get on top of the paperwork of your office. I have a website if you want to look at what I'm going through today. My website is Leanne McDougall. That's Leanne. McDougall is McDougall.com. And if you go underneath the training tab, you can look up the pink boot camp, and this is section number 4, organizing your office. Okay, the reason why I'm doing this on YouTube is because sometimes it's very difficult to train on this over the phone. Visual contact is a lot easier when it comes to discussing and talking about organizing your office. The first thing that I want to talk about today is your weekly plan sheet. And your weekly plan sheet looks like this. There is one on your Mary Kay website. You can go into Mary Kay in Touch and put into search engine weekly plan sheet, and it will bring up one that Mary Kay has sponsored as well. The biggest thing that you want to do with a Mary Kay plan sheet, if you look at your plan sheet, it says Sunday through Saturday along the top here, and it has 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock down on the side here. And the whole idea is to put your calendar into this in such a way that you can organize your week and you know what's going on in your week. So for instance, if you have a full-time job and you know that you work from 9 to 5 every day, then what you want to do is take a highlighted pen Monday through Friday and highlight 9 to 5 and put work there. So you know you can't book Mary Kay appointments during that time. Then you need to go through and highlight your family time, the non-negotiable family time. For us, that's Sunday, and all of Sunday is blue. I don't schedule anything on Sunday. The other time that I don't schedule anything, unless it's an extreme exception, is on Friday night, because we have a family event that happens on Friday night. Everybody has their own family time. It doesn't really matter what it is, just make sure you put it in, because your family is important. Now, once you've got some of those non-negotiables put in, then you start putting in your Mary Kay hours. How would you design your week? How would you like to design your life? So you start putting in, I want to work from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock on Wednesday nights, and you block that out in pink. That is your Mary Kay time. Or maybe you want to work from 9 to 4 during the day. You block that out in pink. That's your Mary Kay time. It doesn't really matter what your time is, but make sure that your time matches your income goal. If you have an income goal of making $600 to $700 a month, but you're only got 2 or 3 hours a week blocked out, you might want to reevaluate that. It's going to take at least 2 appointments a week to make a $700 or $800 month. So that's going to require, I'd say, closer to 5 to 10 hours of actual work time a week. So match your hours to your earning goal. And then here's the trick. Make your plan, then work your plan. Once you have it down on your weekly plan sheet, then you need to work those hours. If it says work 3 hours on Wednesday night, don't decide to go out to dinner with your family before you've done your work. If you are going to go out to dinner with your family, add on an extra hour if it goes into your Mary Kay time. But if you have integrity to work your Mary Kay business, when you have said that you're going to work your Mary Kay business, then your business will pay you back. That's very important. Now, the second sheet of the boot camp is called Organizing Your Office. And I'm not going to read too much of it because you can read it yourself. But I'm going to show you what the things look like. The first thing that I asked for is 2 of these 3-ring binders, okay? The reason why they're asking for 2 of them is one is for a business binder. And you open it up, and inside of the business binders, there's going to be some tabs. And these tabs have different categories along the side. The first category is expenses. And when you open it up, there is an expense sheet that is provided for you in my Mary Kay Bootcamp, also on Mary Kay in Touch as well. And it's consultant expense sheet. Mine is got the top up here, 2 of them. One is whited out so you can put in monthly expenses, and then the company one lets you track them quarterly. The reason why I widened this out and put it into monthly expenses is I find that if women wait to calculate all of their expenses on a quarterly basis, they forget. And then they get to the end of the year and they don't have all of that information calculated. So this just says quarter one, July, August, and September. So at the end of July, you pull out all your receipts and you calculate your receipts. This is one way of doing it. Where do you put the receipts? Well, for the month of July, you put them all in an envelope right here, okay? Then you go and you calculate all the different categories that those receipts were. Was it at an office store? Was it for preferred customer program? Was it for travel? You know, you put all those expenses on there. And then every month, you put your receipts in a manila envelope. At the end of the month, take those receipts out and calculate them on your expense tracking sheet. Okay, so that's how you can do. Then after you get 3 months, you calculate all 3 months, you write down what you got for the quarter, and all the quarterly expenses are tracked right there. So that's one way that you can do this. The other thing that's inside this book is a tab for commission statements. When you start getting commissions, you want to be able to keep track of your commission statements. You'll also want a tab for your product orders. I recommend keep hole punching all of your product orders and just keeping them, because at the end of the year you're going to need all the information. You're going to need to know your Section 1, Section 2, tax, and shipping and handling. And then of course it gives you a record of what you've purchased throughout the year. So keep your purchase orders. This is a very neat and tidy way of doing this. And then when you of course get more involved in the business, this is a great place to track all of your quarterly activities. If you have an accountant, keep your quarterly receipts, because for those people that is an expense. Now, as new consultants, you will not need an accountant. You will not need to track quarterly. It doesn't work that way as a new consultant. You have to be a sales director making a pretty good chunk of money, or maybe even a car driver, before you're going to need to track quarterly expenses. So don't worry about that. I'm just saying that this is your expense 3-ring notebook, and it's a nice, neat, one place it all fits for it all to go. I will give you one variation on this. This right here, tracking my receipts this way for me was a very difficult, because I found that I did not go back at the end of the month and track them and write them down. So what I've done is one variation. It still requires organization, and it still requires you to keep relatively organized as you go, but for me it just was a little bit easier in my mind. If you look at 2 pages down, it says there's a, well, not 2 pages down, just look at your expense tracking sheet. There's lots of expenses there that happen over and over and over again. One of them is office supplies. One of them PCP. Meals are regular if you go on any education, you know, professional education like seminar and career conference and leadership. So those are all things that come over and over again. So what I've done is I take this accordion folder, and on each tab I put what the expense is. These are office supply expenses, and these are supplies like computers and desks, and this is postage, and this one's preferred customer program, and this one is advertising. So you have all these different categories of expenses, and then as you go, you can put the receipts, file the receipts behind those categories, and just keep filing all year long. Just file, file, file. And then at the end of the month, end of the quarter, or end of the year, you take out each category, you calculate them, and that is the month expense, or that is the expense for that category for the year, for the month, or for the quarter. So I just keep all of, I actually, what I'm doing is I'm separating my receipts doing this. Either way works. You need to go with what is your personality. The other 3-ring binder is for organizing your information that you get. And this particular one has tabs on the side. And if you look on your sheet here, those tabs can be for booking ideas, coaching ideas, color ideas. This one happens to be specifically for color, and every tab in there is a different color technique. You can have a tab for money management or for motivational tab. But I find that if you organize your materials vertically rather than horizontally, they keep a lot more organized. So that's what that 3-ring notebook is for.